Hi friends, Shannon Crow here of Shannon Crow Yoga. I wanted to share a pose with you today that I love to do and that is really amazing for our pelvic health and our breath and our alignment, and I'll explain why that is. So I get super excited about anything pelvic health related, as many of you know, and this pose is one that we often do in yoga, but I feel like we don't even know how amazing it can be for our pelvic health. So let's first just talk about how the breath works. So if you put one hand just below the sternum, I'm going to back up a little bit for this. You can still hear me. So if we place one hand below the sternum and one hand lower belly, I'll tip this down a little bit so you can see what I'm saying. Then we think about each breath. So each inhale, the breathing diaphragm, the respiratory diaphragm is going to move down a little bit, and so does the pelvic floor or the pelvic diaphragm. So they both move down on the inhale, and then they both move up together on the exhale. So if we imagine kind of this jellyfish shape or a dome shape, so inhale and they both move down, and exhale and they both move up. And we get this naturally just when we're taking our breath, each breath, as long as we have good posture. So as soon as we curl over or we're at our desk, I do this often, then that kind of cuts that off. But as long as we find some time for this spinal alignment and breath, we're helping our pelvic health. Now, to add on to that, if we let gravity help us a little bit with the breath. So for some women, they might be experiencing pelvic organ prolapse, so where an organ comes out a little bit, and this might sound really scary to you, but 50% of women who have had a baby have some degree of pelvic organ prolapse. Many of them don't even know. So it's fun to play around with and see how this pose is. It's safe if you have pelvic organ prolapse, but I would highly recommend that you go see a pelvic floor physiotherapist, and they will let you know. And it's also very treatable, so we can also reverse that. So this is one pose that I love to use with that. And also, just if we're wanting the pelvic floor to kind of respond and move up a little bit, or relax a little bit. That's the other thing. A lot of the time our pelvic floor is working really hard, and it's what's called hypertonic. So it's holding on really hard, and this pose just gives it sort of some permission. Okay, gravity's going to work the other way now. And so I'll show you what I mean by that. So we come down to lying on the back with the knees bent. I'm going to make sure that you can see my yoga mat here. We're going to roll down to lying down on the back. The only contraindication for this pose is if you are pregnant, you may not want to lie on your back for very long. And so you'll have to consult with your healthcare provider or your yoga teacher if you're pregnant. So the knees are bent, and we press into the feet, lift the pelvis up, and we're going to slide the block or a couple of books underneath the sacrum. So we place the pelvis, the back of the pelvis is the sacrum. That's that fused bone, the tailbone's at the bottom. And I can already feel right now, there's just this release of the organs. Pelvic floor is able to tip a little bit if I let myself soften into that block, let the block hold me. So let's think about the breath here now. So the inhale, pelvic floor and respiratory diaphragm are going down on the inhale, and the exhale, they're moving back up. So the breath is really in the rib cage. It's not like we're trying to move the abdomen here at all. It's just happening. I'm talking myself through it. If you're doing it at home, obviously you can just focus on the breath. So we inhale, everything moves down, and exhale. You might be able to feel that on the exhale. So I've had two cesareans and another abdominal surgery, so I have a bit of scar tissue, and I can feel it on the exhale, especially if I haven't done this pose for a few days. So see if you can notice that on the exhale. How does it feel on the inhale? And how does it feel on the exhale? See, play around with that for a little bit. When you come out of this, you can stay and play around with it. When you come out of it, then you're going to push into the feet, slide the block out, roll very gently over to your side, let your hands come to the floor, and let your hands bring you up to sitting. Oh my gosh, the sunshine is so nice. It is spring tomorrow, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you are wanting to learn more about yoga for pelvic health, I teach a training for yoga teachers in Meaford, Ontario. It is May 26th and 27th of 2018. There's also an online training, and if you are someone who just wants to learn more about yoga for pelvic health, I do a video here every week and also have classes in Owen Sound, Ontario, and then there are different teachers from all over who take trainings with me. So reach out if you're looking for a specific yoga for pelvic health class or training. Take care. Have a great Monday.